Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price for the 2 Minute Drill on this Monday. Just met with Jeremy Pruitt via Zoom. Brent, he he talked about the pay cut stuff, kind of sidestepped it in a lot of ways. Did say that he and Casey, his wife, have appealed the NCAA to be able to give a one-time gift to those people in the athletic department uh, that are having to take a pay cut and lose money.
Yeah, those people in his football
Football
program
program, yeah.
and who have done that. And I know for a fact that Jeremy Pruitt had delivered some checks to people in his football program to supplement their pay. They had to tear those checks up because it's an NCAA violation, so they're waiting on an appeal there. Also know that Jeremy Pruitt wasn't real hip to divulging that, but I think felt like upon the advice of others that he probably needed to in light of the story that came out on Friday and certainly the perception that that was presenting with his football program. I thought it was interesting, Austin. He continued to say, and he said it two or three different times, it was fluid with the assistant's pay cut and the story had not been finalized or wasn't complete. So it sounds like there may still be some way of working some pay cuts or doing some pay cuts, with the assistants. I think some of the assistants are certainly embarrassed by the way the story has been portrayed since Friday.
Yeah, what you're referring to is when he kept saying the final chapter has not been
Right.
written yet. Um, you know, but this comes after the fact. So, like, in your opinion, does this I mean, if they do it now, I get they still would do it, but does it mean more or less?
Well, I mean, I think it means I think from a fan standpoint, they go, well, they got shamed into doing it. I
Yeah,
think is how it would be perceived by some others. And look, there's a lot of different stories over there, and you know this about how well this was communicated to those guys. Coach Pruitt alluded to that a little bit, talking about it happening during the season and so much going on, and some of the communication stuff. I don't think some of the assistants felt like it was communicated to them very clearly or very well. I'm sure the other side says it was. Bottom line is, it's a story Friday that could have been handled differently had the process been handled better in the weeks leading up to the start of those pay cuts in November.
let's turn our attention to the football team. Jimmy Pruitt hyping up those young guys. Harrison Bailey got a lot of praise. Holiday, Weidman, Callaway. You know, will they play though?
Well, I think that's the big question. Will they play? I think most of us and fans are like, hey, you got to see it to believe it, right? Because they've been talking about it. They've been talking about those young guys for a while, Austin, and you haven't seen it. Clearly, this was the most praise that Harrison Bailey has gotten from the head coach. Really, he talked about how well he performed last week, even to the point that he almost didn't anoint JG as the guy. I think JG is going to start this game if he's healthy. But I thought it was interesting when he answered my question. It wasn't just hey, JG's our guy. He circled back to talk about how good of a week Harrison Bailey had, and certainly he mentioned those freshman receivers. So we'll see. Tennessee has to score points. They have to be more explosive. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You mentioned that in a post Saturday night. These teams in this league are putting up 600-700 yards of offense. Quarterbacks are throwing for 400 and 500 yards on a regular basis. Tennessee's got to find offense somehow, some way. They cannot play games 17-10 and be successful.
No, they can't. And they've got to show hope. To me, that's as important as anything. I said this, on the Nation, doing radio spots, TV spots. I said this on the board. It's not necessarily wins and losses. Yes, you want to win, but it's how you compete, how you play. If Tennessee goes out there and looks way better, but then they lose by 3 points, does that not give you more hope? Especially if you've played Harrison Bailey at quarterback, who I don't think this decision's been made at the quarterback position. I think that it's a total coin flip at this point as to who starts. Would I lean with you towards Jarrett? Yes, because we know their track record of trotting out Cedric Tillman. But would I be surprised if Harrison Bailey starts? Absolutely not. He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price. This has been the 2 Minute Drill on this Monday.